Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is the transfer show where we're going to have a look at some players. But before I get into that, I just want to put a disclaimer out there so I don't get misinterpreted. So I am not in the know. I'm not an ITK. All we are doing is on these transfer shows, we are looking at players who are linked in the media, players that we are being linked with, and we look at these players and stats and see how good they are and what they fit into our team. Now, it's not to say that we are signing them or anything like that. Just want to make that clear. Because we do get a bad name as YouTubers because I think we are just as bad as the ITKs. No, we are not. You know, a player does not sign until he's got that shirt on and the scarf above his head at St James's Park and it's been officially announced by the club. So I just want to put that out there. Anyway, before we start the show, if you do like what you see, make sure you do hit that thumbs up. That does help the channel and means new viewers find it more easily. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and help us get towards 1200. We're only 28 away. Also, hit the bell notification. That tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you want to make a donation, you can do that in chat by clicking the $sign. All money reinvested in the channel. And also, if you want to become a member, it's 99p a month. Just click the join button to do that as well. Right. Okay, so let's get into some comments as well, and before we start the show. And as you can guess, I don't know if you can get my voice, but I'm absolutely full of cold. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's supposed to be summer. It's more like winter, isn't it? Hi, Tony says, Trolls, hi to you, mate. Hope you're well. He says, we should not sell Minteh. We should sell Miggy and Wilson, to be honest. Yeah, I agree, and we'll come on to that as well. I would even sell Longy before Minteh, to be honest, says Trolls. Absolutely. Hi again, says Throckley and beyond. Hi to you, mate. I hope you're very well. Very good afternoon, everyone, says Bia. Good afternoon to you, Bia. Hope you're well, my friend. Good afternoon, everyone, says Julie. Good afternoon to you, Julie. Hope you're well too, also. I mean, look, we're seeing a lot going around at the moment, but we know Man City's got their arbitration starting tomorrow. And what we do know is, I think it was reported by Matt Lawton, that obviously Man City have an email from a Premier League director from a different club, not Man City director, from a director of a different Premier League club. And what he said in that email, and they're going to use this as evidence as well, by the way, that in that email, 6 weeks after our takeover, they quickly threw those rules through for fair market value on sponsorship deals. So what they wanted was, they wanted to make sure that we couldn't go out there and get a £70 million sponsoring. And so that had to be through the Premier League and had to be rubber stamped by them. And this director says the reason they've done that was they wanted to suppress Newcastle United, so they didn't want us getting too big too quick. I wonder why. And I tell you what, I hope Man City absolutely win that case, and I hope they blows it apart, because I tell you what, it's going to be massive for us if they win that. And look, we know Amanda Staveley said that, you know, we've been speaking to new sponsorships. I wonder if these sponsorships have been put on hold and been said to, look, just hang on, we're going to leave it for a couple of more weeks because we might be able to sort out a different price, maybe. So hopefully we'll see what happens, but we'll wait and see anyway. So I hope Man City win that case. I'm sure a lot of us fans, hopefully, Man City win that case as well. Craig says, good afternoon, Craig. Hope you're well. Hi, Tristan. Not seen you for a while, mate, but I hope you're very well indeed. Tony, I'm disappointed with the club because if James Trafford, Mr. I shipped in 60-plus goals, got kicked out of goal because the club is too cheap to buy a world-class Mohammed-Really shame at the club. Yeah, I agree where you're coming from on that one. You know, I see your point there, Tristan. And do you know what? We'll come to James Trafford anyway, that's for sure. Hope you go for Mohammed-Really. 40 million euros, then Trafford 30 million pounds, to be honest. 30 million quid even for Trafford, I think, is far too much, if I'm honest. Don't think he's worth that. I paid that we linked with the worst keeper in the Premier League season out of cheapness rather than buying the young top keeper. Hi all, says Pete. Hi to you, mate. I hope you're well indeed, Pete. Graham Story says, we've already got good fit player in Tonali. Not seen the best from him yet. He'd be like a new signing. Absolutely, absolutely, mate. And do you know what? Can't wait. Can't wait to see what Tonali does. Good day, Tony. 14th. Before anything can happen, no breaking transfers till then. And actually, the Euros will be started. So let's hope one or two get sneaked in under everyone's noses. I totally agree, Alan. I totally agree. And let's hope that's the case, mate. Mohamed Dashvili's not world class. No, he's not world class, but he's a very good goalkeeper. That's for sure. We'll briefly talk Friday. I mean, look, England lost to Iceland on Friday in a friendly. Yes, it hasn't gone down well with a lot of people. Iceland's 72 in the world. But look, let's give Iceland a bit of credit here. They scored a goal. You could blame Ramsdale for that because it was a bit of poor goalkeeping, and I'm so pleased. I hope we do not bring him to the club, by the way. But look, we had chances to score. We didn't take them. Kane had a glorious chance to score, and he should have scored. He should have buried it. But other than that, they defended very well the whole game. So you got to give Iceland the credit. But all I'm going to say is don't be too harsh about that performance on Friday. Because players are not always going to give that 100% in a friendly, not this close to a tournament. Because if they get an injury, they know they're not going to get in that tournament and they're going to miss out. So they're not going to give 100%. And look, okay, yes, it looks bad with being beaten off Iceland. But go back to the World Cup in Qatar. Who won the World Cup in 2022? Argentina did. Right. Who did Argentina play in their first group game of the World Cup? The first game in the group stage of the World Cup, they played Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia beat them. And everybody laughed at Argentina. And everybody was thinking, Argentina's not even going to make it out this group, let alone get into the next round. And look what happened. They went on and won the World Cup. So, because we got beat off Iceland, I would say it's not a bad thing, but the real stuff starts next Sunday, and I believe we'll see a different England next Sunday. So the only thing defensively, England don't look great, but we'll see what happens. Pete says too many sideways and backwards passing from England was hard to watch. Yeah, it was, Pete. But like I've said, Pete, players don't want to get injured before a tournament, and that's the problem. And to be honest with you, I understand them wanting to have these games, but I think they shouldn't bother, to be honest with you, because the players aren't going to put massive effort in. Okay. It's Andrew Howe, get him out the scouting. I mean, look, there was a rumour went around the other day that apparently we wanted to buy Adam Morton at the beginning of last season, before the season started. And apparently Eddie Howe's nephew, Andy Howe, Andy Pandy as I call him, apparently turned around and said, no, we don't want him. He's not good enough. Well, if he's not good enough, why is he in the England team for the Euros then? Because he went to Palace in January, and since then he's just got better and better under Oliver Glasner. And look at him now, he's in the Euros. He came on at St James's Park, started spraying the ball about, and it must have been enough for Southgate to think, hang on a minute, I can't leave this guy. Yeah, I've got to take him to the Euros. And I thought he was absolutely brilliant when he came on. So, and this guy's just going to get better and better. Bosnia were up, never a penalty blatant. I thought it was a push by Watkins, if I'm honest. BR, I saw that. VAR, yeah, not great, was it? Look at the clubs winning things. They aren't mostly English, to be fair. No, they're not trolls, absolutely. It does look like we've had a few good winners now. We are going back to penny pinching, buying players to make stars. Just one problem, we can't spot talent on Andy Howe. I think it's not just because of that. It's just because of this PSR business. And look, the way this PSR business is in FFP, It's starting to become bane now because look, I want to see Newcastle do well. Like everybody else, I want to see us bring great players to the club and I want to see us competing. But we can't because every time we bring a player into the club, we got to sell a player, to balance the books. And if I'm honest with you, and I've been thinking this for a while now, because this is absolutely, I'm going to swear here, but this is absolutely pissing me off that much, this FFP and PSR business. The way it's going now, I'm starting to lose interest in football, if I'm honest with you. And look, I love my club to bits, Newcastle United, and I want nothing more than to see Newcastle succeed. But I can see eventually I'm going to end up switching off football and seeing stuff that I've had enough, because this is what they are doing to people. That it's all about a certain amount of people, and it's all wrong. It's all wrong. And that's the way I look at it. It's starting to turn me away. And look, as I say, as much as I love my club, Newcastle United, how much more am I going to take of this? Because look, it's just absolutely depressing. It's not that. It's the fact is us fans are being robbed because we've got owners who have got money to burn. Let's be honest. They've got money, but they can't spend it. Why? Because there are stupid rules in place that stop us from buying. That is the problem. We are not allowed to spend too much. Look at Forest. They spent on players to come up when they come up from the Championship. Yes, because I had players on loan and players that were contract who left the club. But they brought in a lot of players. When it come out into their next financial year, they had overspent. So they got done and they lost 4 points. Now, when they lost them 4 points, they appealed it and lost the appeal. And they stayed up buying that tear, right? Okay, they didn't, they stayed up just. But their owners club at Forest, they've got no debt there. There's no debt at Forest, anything like that. But yet they were done because they overspent. Luton Town, Sheffield United, Burnley all came into the Premier League this last season and hardly spent much money at all. They spent as little as they possibly could. And look what's happened to them. They've gone back down. Because they didn't want to overspend. Because they would end up with a fine and a points deduction. And this is what I'm saying. This is where it's getting to the point now where it's just getting so damn awful that, and the thing is, it's a shame for teams who are coming up from the Championship because they want to compete and stay in the Premier League. But now they feel like they're frightened in case if they overspend, they get done. It's not right. It's wrong. It's wrong. It really is wrong. And this FFP, PSR, just needs to be sorted out. It's an absolutely crap system because I've said this for a long time. And some people laugh at me. Some people say, oh, no, it's not going to happen. But what I've said before is this FFP, PSR stuff, I can see eventually this is going to send clubs into trouble. And I don't mean trouble as in points deductions. I mean trouble financially. I can see a club going into administration through this. Then what's the Premier League going to say? If we have a club that's in the Premier League that goes in administration because, they've got to sell all that they've got to sell all that players and they can't buy players in because they've got to be careful with the PSR. Then they end up going out, down on the relegation zone and end up going out the Premier League and then end up in administration through this stupid PSR. It needs to be sorted out. What's your thoughts on that? Is anybody else starting to lose interest in football because of this? Because I tell you what it is. This has been getting at me. And, I just think it's so wrong. It is so wrong. But let me know your thoughts in the chat as well. meant to have English players playing and they do 700 million, yeah. We sign average players, they hold a space in the squad. They're hard to sell. It's on the club, Tony. The club should be looking to buy players to make money. Yet we bought Tonali, the only player who's Champions League proven, and the kids get slapped by kids and get slapped by Dortmund and Milan. One night against PSG has been praised for the fact that we go slapped by teams better than us. Passion won't make us top side. Players and the manager sack Andy Howe. He's not a proper scout. I agree. Peter says FFP to keep the top six safe from being outdone by other teams coming through. Absolutely, Peter. Absolutely spot on. Afternoon, says Mason. Good afternoon to you as well, mate. Sorry, Tony. FFP didn't make us lose 15 league games under Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe did, and his players and have overspent buying English and is caught up with this. Sell Bruno if that's what the release clause was for. Look, I'm not saying FFP made us lose 15 league games, Tristan. What I'm saying about this FFP business is I just find the whole thing wrong. I really do. It's just, you know, before our takeover, when we were under the fat controller, where was Liverpool? Where was Man City? Where was Arsenal? Where was Man United coming in for our players? Okay, I can give you one, possibly Longstaff. Oh, and Chelsea wanted Lascelles for 50 million and we refused. But other than that, where have they actually come in and bought our players? No. But now, because we've got Bruno, Isak, Gordon, you know, that they're now circling, wanting to buy them. It stinks. It really does. It's because we're a threat, because they're scared of us. That is the problem. And the Premier League, Richard Masters, keeps bending the rules just to satisfy the big boys at the top because he doesn't want to upset them. And he's just as bad himself. Alan says, Tony, if FFP keeps going, it will destroy the Premier League. That may not be good. That may be a good thing. I mean, yeah, Alan, I agree with you, mate. I mean, look, thing is, though, eventually, top players are going to not bother coming because they're going to think, you know, you might have a player that might say wants to come and join Newcastle United and be part of the project. But because the fee's too high, we can't buy him. And then he might say, well, sod the Premier League, I'll go elsewhere. And this is the thing. Top players might stop coming to the Premier League. And then it'll not be as attractive as it should be. The problem for me is that we have owners that will never go broke, and it's so annoying. It's killing football and the Prem at least. Absolutely trolls. Well said, mate. Easy way to settle this. Every club gets to spend a maximum 200 million a season on players, but they don't want to fix it because it's corrupt as hell. Absolutely, David. I mean, look, I've seen what Darren Bent said, and I've mentioned this before. And what Darren Bent said was, every club owner should be made to pay a bond, depending on what the owners are worth. So, like, say, for instance, say we had to put £1 billion in as a bond. Our owners can afford that, not a problem. Now then, what that then does is, if for some reason the owners were selling up and the club was in trouble, the Premier League can go at that £1 billion bond and say, right, okay, right, we can pay for the operations, the wages, everything for the club, running costs of the club and everything for the rest of the season because we got that bond until a new buyer is found. And I think that's the way forward. But Premier League won't do that. Absolutely not. Mick says, football history, the team that can buy the best players are successful. Why change it now? Yeah, I agree. For 14 years, the Fat Controller paid tens of thousands for SD ads when the going rate was tens of millions. Why did no one care about fair market value then? It's City's case, a clear cut. Exactly, Craig. Exactly. He had Sports Direct splashed all over the stadium. He had flannels all over. House of Fraser, everything. And yet, nothing was said. Nothing was said. But because we have got Saudi owners who have got mega rich sponsorships that could come in any time, that's why. And I hope City wins this case. I really do. Eddie Howe did fine. Half the team from last season injured. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Really, Newcastle should get compensation for the last 14 years. Unfair market value sponsorship, definitely. Still in Champions League in the group. We had till last half hour of the match. Yeah, I think, look, we shouldn't have blew that against Milan, if I'm honest. We should have, we shouldn't have. Foxy says, what's the general feeling from the fans towards Trafford? For me, he's a decent keeper. Could go on to have a solid career. My issue is the price, bad business. Yeah, Foxy, I agree. I mean, look, I watched the under-21s Euros last year, and to be fair, I thought he played really well. He didn't concede a goal. Got the Golden Glove. I thought he did really, really well. But look, yeah, he's had it tough at Burnley. But then it's the team it's not just him, it's the team in front of him as well. And we will go into his stats, by the way, when we get to him. And I'm glad you want to chat because I've got a couple of players I'm going to put out there, Foxy, as well. Masters is bending over so hard for the 5 that will develop a hunch, maybe. Foxy says, imagine having to sell Minteh because we are desperate for money and then you spend 20 million on Trafford. If you don't laugh, you cry. It's shocking. Absolutely. You're totally right there. Tristan says, we've known for 12 years it's been a stop. Yeah, stop blaming the finances. We overspent, so we have to deal with it. We are not entitled to anything. Yes, we had one good season. We are a mid-table team. Again, it's down to the FFP. Don't like everything, says Mick, but hope they get their takeover from Dell Computers just to piss the red cartel off. Yeah, absolutely. Craig says, my problem with Trafford is he's small, but boy doesn't command his area. He's 6'6", actually, Trafford. Howe needs to wake up and realise we need to sell Miggy Wilson and Longy before Bruno, Isak and Gordon, to be fair. Tristan says, you come up with these ideas, but the Prem aren't going to do anything unless 14 teams can agree, and they won't. I think you forget all 20 teams make the rules in the Prem. Yeah, I know that, Tristan, but the thing is, though, as well, that's another thing I think Man City are putting into this arbitration thing, saying, why is it 14 teams that's got to have the overall say? There's 20 teams in the Premier League. You just have to go to 11 votes, and you've won. So why do you need 14 votes? One of the hottest players in Europe, you might have to sell Stinks. Just hope that's a media sizzle. Yeah, absolutely. Here's one for you, Tony. Under 21 keeper, won everything, whereas Freddie Woodman, miles ahead of Trafford. Yeah, Freddie Woodman, yeah, absolutely. I'm not disagreeing. Freddie Woodman, he played in that under 17s World Cup in the same team as Morgan Gibbs White, won the World Cup, saved in the penalty shootout. We thought Freddie Woodman was going to be this next big thing to come through, highly rated. Played a few games for us, didn't look that great. Now we're Preston North End. So yeah, you're absolutely spot on with that one. If we had financial troubles, there'd be no way we would release 5 squad players and bid for Trafford before July. Makes 0 sense. Exactly, that's the other thing. Thing is, if we've got this Adidas money coming in, surely that can balance the books before the 30th of July, 30th of June rather. So I really don't get this. I really don't. Mick says, I would take Trafford if Pope was guaranteed to stay fit. Yeah, as a number 2, yeah. Don't want to take him 40 million for Minteh, no. 6'4". Tanji says, people cry over Trafford. Let's keep Dubravka then. Those people will cry more. Absolutely, yeah. Tanji, you well said there, mate. Yeah, Dubravka, he's got to go. Swap him for Trafford. Trafford looks like a boy. Would you take a report of 40 million for Minteh? Right, we're going to get into these transfer rumours and that anyway. So, as I said, I knew this one was going to be a busy show anyway. Right. So, I'm going to come to the first player now. And if Foxy's in the chat, he'll like this one, Foxy, because this guy is South American, well, Argentinian. So, we're no strangers to Argentinians. Because, we've had Argentinians myself, Colaccini, Christian Bassidas, who wasn't that great, was he? But Colaccini was great, wasn't he? Gutierrez, another one as well. Before I do that, I've got a guest here, so I'll bring him in. There's John. Hi, John. How are you?
Big up, Tony. Thanks for the song, man. Sorry about the lateness, greatness, man. But did a show with Shelley. Do check out on that as well. I don't you see that, Tony? She was fantastic again.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So this is the first player of the transfer show we're going on to. So the first player now, he plays in Boca Juniors in South America, and his name is Nicholas Valentini. Now then, Nicholas Valentini. Probably a lot of people haven't heard of him. I haven't heard a lot. I've had a look at him. His contract runs out in 6 months' time on New Year's Eve. He's 23 years of age, left-footed centre half. He's rated around £5.3 million. Because he's only got 6 months left, you could probably do a deal and get him for a decent fee. His only weakness is his long balls, but again, that can easily come. Obviously, he's only played 2 games this season. He hasn't scored a goal yet, and he's actually been in part of a defence that hasn't conceded either. So, look, I don't really know an awful lot about this guy, but what I have read about him, he has got something about him. Obviously, Foxy's in the chat. He may know a lot more about Nicholas Valentini. But, it's a centre-half. Obviously, we've got Botman out until next January. We've got Dan Burn who can play there, but if Dan Burn gets an injury, who else is going to step in there? I think this guy would be perfect. At 23 years of age, as I say, we are being linked with him. As I say, I don't know an awful lot about him. All I've done is looked at his stats. His stats on that. If I look at his last game, he played on the 10th of April. Because obviously I think that their season stops, doesn't it, for the Copa America. In that game, he made 6 clearances in the 90 minutes he played. He put in 3 tackles, 1 interception. He won 4 out of 5 ground duels. He won 4 out of 8 aerial duels. He lost possession 18 times. He'd done 1 foul. He was fouled once. He had 107 touches of the ball. 74 out of 92 passes were accurate. He made 1 key pass. 4 out of 14 long balls were accurate. So again, it goes back to the factors, his weaknesses with these long balls. He had 1 shot on target, 1 off target, 1 blocked, and he missed 1 big chance. And they give him a 7.4 for that. To me, that's I look at that and I think that's not bad, especially for a centre half. He's had a lot to do in that game. He's had a lot of touches of the ball. So obviously the other team who they were playing, obviously a very attacking team. So I'm just going to have a look at him alongside Sven Botman and see how he compares to Botman. Remember, Botman's out till next January with ACL. And they're actually not too dissimilar. Defensively, Botman a little bit better. Tactical wise, Botman's much better. Creativity wise, Botman's better. But there's not a lot of differences there. But again, whether it's somebody we're going to buy or not, I don't know. But we are linked with him. John, what's your thoughts on this guy?
I never heard of this guy, to be honest with you, but he has been on loan called the CV. I think he's not an Argentine club as well. He's Argentine in an under 23 international. I think he's probably playing Olympics as well. But he has, like I said, he's made 33 appearances, scored 2 goals. Yeah, but obviously there's something in there. But I've not watched this guy play. Do you know what I mean? But what I will say, right? He's 23. Personally, when you get a player from South America, and I'll say it now, Tony, you got to get them. You got to bring them in young. You've got to bring them in very, very young. Otherwise, if you get them in 28, 29, they will not make it. Because buying a player from South America to bring them into the Premier League, it's not an easy thing. Brighton's got away with it a lot. But for me, I think if he's out of contract, I mean, would I take a punt on him? Because I'm not too sure. But for me, I think he'd probably end up going to play in Portuguese or in the Spanish league, to be fair. But like I said, he has played some games. Obviously, they think highly of this guy because he's in the first team. But other than that, I don't know what the guy played.
Well, apparently Steve Nixon's watched him, John. And the thing is, he's caught the eye. But even if you get him for 4 million, John, or 5 million, if he comes and he doesn't make it in England, you can sell him again, and you could probably double what you've got for him. So, you're not gonna lose out a lot on that. As such, he's only got 6 months left of his contract, so it depends what. I mean, obviously, juniors don't want to lose him, but at the same time, obviously, if he's not going to sign a new deal and if they don't sell him when his contract runs out New Year's Eve, he's a free agent. So, they might want to get a little bit of money for him.
Palmeiras wants him. According to Foxy.
Palmeiras.
But I'll see where you come from. 5 million is a punt. 5 million is a punt. Like you said, if it doesn't work out, you can go for double the price. But for me, he may come and it'd be a success story. But for me, I don't watch Argentinian football. I'm not going to lie. Foxy does. No. And I mean, Rio's one of the places I love to do in the future. Rio, do a match there. And but other than that, we'll see what happens. But Steve Nixon likes him. Then you got to trust him.
Yeah. Hi there, Tino. Yeah. That was the first one we've covered, mate. So there we are. Our Lloyd Kelly could come in if we get him, says Trolls. Yeah, absolutely, Trolls. I agree with that one.
Go back to Lloyd Kelly.
Foxy says, Valentini not in Boca squad lately because of his contract. He's been part of the Argentina under 23. Looked likely to go to the Olympics, but may miss out because of those contract issues. Palmeiras one of them. I mean, Foxy, would he do well in England? That's the thing. Do you think he would be the right centre half for us? I mean, look, I've seen Barco going to Brighton, and I've saw him in a couple of games, and I haven't been convinced by him. But the game against Man U, he looked a little bit better. So, I know he's a lot younger. He's only 19, but do let us know, Foxy. Do you think Valentini would fit into our team, and would he do well for us? Please let me know. Greg says, hi, Tony and everyone in the chat. I'd been happy to keep Wilson if he'd be happy as a substitute and only playing 20 or 30 minutes instead of the full 94 minutes, then hopefully a fewer injuries. Yeah, I see your point there, Greg. But there's a lot of rumours going around that he's not happy at the club now. So we will wait and see on that one. Sorry, John, what were you going to say?
I was going to say something about going back to that guy, Valentini as well, but 5 million quid is not worth a punt. But it's good. Then we could just sell him for 10. But if Brighton gets him, they know what you get from this guy. Do you know what I mean? They've got a strong South American influence as well. So have we. But it's going to be a punt. And like I said, I don't watch Argentine football, like I said to you. But we'll just see what happens, man.
Yeah. Paul says, afternoon all, long time no see. It's been a hectic
Big up,
few
Paul.
months for me. Oh, well, nice to see you, mate, and hope everything's getting better now. I mean, look, John, I was just discussing before about this FFP, PSR business, how we've got to balance the books, selling players and things like this. And what I've been saying, John, is, and this is the way I'm feeling at the moment with it, the longer this goes on, the more this goes on, because what annoys me is the fact is we know our owners have got money to burn.
Yeah.
And, they can spend the money and it wouldn't hurt their bank account. But the way this FFP and PSR business is, you've got to be careful what you spend, because if you overspend, you get a fine, you get a points deduction. The way I'm looking at this, John, if this is going to continue like this, that we have to keep scrimping and scraping, keep selling players to then buy players, what's the point in competing? And the way I look at it is, I'm starting to lose interest now in football, and eventually it's going to push me away. Probably I'm not going to be the only fan that gets pushed away. Probably a lot more as well, because look, it's just strangling the game. It's hurting the game, John. And if this is supposed to be the Premier League, then I'm sorry, the Premier League is not the best league in the world for me.
No, it's not.
There's better leagues out there, because the way the Premier League's being run, it's run like a shit show, and it's only for six clubs only and nobody else. It's a closed shop.
Fact, absolute fact. I mean, I don't know if you watched me show, right, with Shelley, right, and I said to the chat as well, and Angel as well, Real Madrid has just signed a new deal on the shirts, 75 million a season. I'll say it again. 75 million, not for 5 seasons, for 1 season, yeah? If Richard Masters was to jig a sec to La Liga and he had to go to Real Madrid are eating up and spit and moot, yeah? Let's be real, yeah? Now, he's telling clubs like us and Man City that we cannot have the sponsorship, yeah? Fair trade, yeah? I hope that Man City wins this. I hope they destroy the Premier League. I really, really do. I'm sorry. I know it's going to upset a lot of people saying that if Man City wins, the Premier League will not be the same, I'm telling you. It's as simple as that. My advice to them is, right, don't change it. And the reason I brought this in, Tony, is because I've thought it over. You know it, I know it, and everyone in the chat knows it, yeah? They've got it spectacularly wrong, yeah? And you can understand what Man City are having taken them to arbitration, right, about fair trading, right?
Yeah.
The money's got to come in. It's like you running YouTube, right? You want as much money coming into your way as possible. Same with me, Pete, and Paul, right? Now, the Premier League are controlling clubs now. You can't have this, you can't have that, yeah? It's like telling like Tesco's and Morrison's, sorry, you're not going to sign that. You're not going to get any more money, blah, blah, blah. So you're right, Tony. I think the Premier League is finished. It's done. The Premier League is done. And you shouldn't have to scrape to buy players or to sell players. You shouldn't have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to look back and say, look, this PSI ain't working, right? This FFP ain't going to work. Put it back to how it was before. It's as simple as that, yeah? Man City's going to win this. I hope they do. And I listen to, there's one guy where I really had to go on as well, right? Is Alex Crook, right? Alex Crook is a Man U fan, right? And he was so stressed, saying that if Man City does this, it will not be the same, yeah? My advice to Alex, right? Shut up, right? We want the game how it was before, yeah? You don't tell clubs how to run their business, yeah? Simple as that. If money wants to come in, it's money coming into the club, yeah?
Yeah.
So use that money, yeah? Football is dead at the minute with this FFP PSR. Football has been killed, yeah? I'm with Man City on this.
We saw the January window, John. That was quiet. How many January windows are quiet? None. That's probably the first one that I've known for a long time that nobody was because people are frightened to spend, and it's disgusting. And how is the Premier League supposed to make money if you're not spending? There's no transactions going around, so it's just disgusting that we had nobody. That was the quietest window that I've seen for a long time. And I tell you what, if it carries on like this, I can see the summer window being very quiet as well.
Tony, on top of that as well, I can see top players leaving the Premier League because they want more money, right? If you want to try and get a player, right, so like a Chiesa for 40 million quid, right, or if you want to buy Osman for 120 million quid for Napoli, yeah, or you want to buy Serki for Bologna for 38 million quid, you can't do it. You can't do it because the Premier League won't let you do it.
Yeah.
It's good in a club. Simple as that. The Premier League has got to wake up. I'm sorry for having a go, right? Have it back than it was before. How it?
Absolutely, John.
And let me tell you something now, right? You know, the Premier League is all about money, 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 yeah? And they have killed it.
Yeah.
Suppose, right, you want to buy clubs like Leicester, Southampton, right, and Ipswich, right? Want to sell a player for 60 million quid? That 60 million quid will set that clubs up for life. Yeah. Now the Premier League has effing killed it. They killed a lot of it. Yeah. And I'll tell you something now, right? I hope Man City open the can of worms to that. They're not going to win 115 charges. I don't think they'll win that. But what I think, I'll go with Shelley. What Shelley said on my channel. What they'll probably do, right? They probably say, right, okay, he takes arbitration, right? I tell you what, don't take arbitration. We dropped 115 charges, right? Forget it, yeah? We'll shake hands on it. You said your piece. We said our piece. Shake hands on it. Bosh. Super underneath the carpet, yeah, as now it's happened. And that's it. And then it'll all be forgotten about, yeah? You do us favour. You do us favour. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. But if they take an arbitration, Man City will win that. And the more I think about this, the more I think they're going to win this. Because I tell you what, you cannot stop clubs from trading within their clubs. You cannot. Because had that been Real Madrid would take Richard Masters to court. In fact, Richard Masters would just concede defeat before he even gets to court. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It is. It's just getting more and more like every day you have to try and be a financial expert to understand what's going on. It's just getting ridiculous. Anyway, Foxy says Valentini would be a good pickup for a couple of million, left-footed centre backup for Botman. Absolutely. Tino says I want Trafford, Kelly, Diamondi, Matt O'Reilly, Sole, and Solanke. Nice little list. I'd rather sell Wilson. And Miggy, Sean, and Minteh only with a buyback fee. We're going to talk about Minteh. We'll talk about him soon.
Yeah.
Tanji says, I used to love football for what it is, but nowadays it's political, full of drama off the pitch, even going into forums, watching YouTube videos and live shows. Yeah, I get what you mean. I tried not to try and do it too much, but anyway, we're going to talk about transfers now as well. Football is ruined by FFP and VAR, says Trolls. Well, VAR's not getting scrapped. Foxy says, if I had to do a comparison, I would probably say Valentini defensively is a bit like Ben Mee, but technically much better. I mean, look, Ben Mee hasn't done too bad since he's gone to Brentford. So yeah, for a couple of million, Foxy, absolutely. And even if he wasn't that good, you could sell him on and make money on him. So it's a win-win, isn't it? Carlos says, what's City's court case about FFP or the charges they face? It's about over the sponsorship rules, the fair market value and everything. That was new rules that were brought out in February. So that's what it's all about. And I think that's why we haven't announced any more sponsors yet. I think we're holding back until we see what the result comes of this. But according to Matt Lawton, a Premier League director has given Man City an email to say that 6 weeks after our takeover, they rushed these rules through to suppress Newcastle United. So, take that as much as you want. But if City have got this email from a club director from another club in the Premier League, then this could open a huge can of worms for the Premier League.
And I'll tell you something as well. I think Masters will probably walk. He'll probably resign. I'm telling you, because if you're thinking, what's the point? I'm sorry, but if you do your job properly, Richard, then I tell you something now, this will never happen. Do you know what I mean? We got to make money for the club the best we can, yeah? Don't control our clubs, yeah? We're not going to be in debt. Man City's not getting the debt, yeah? It's just ridiculous, yeah? And Mancunian Way is not very happy about this. Patrick, True City fan, ain't going to be happy with it. And Grandolan ain't going to be happy with it either. Don't know what I mean? But I'll tell you something now, right? This is not over yet. This is going to be hell on for the Premier League if they lose this. I'm telling you, I think Man City's got the best lawyers in the world. They can pick who they want, Tony. And I tell you what, they must have took the time over this. They did not rush this.
Lorraine says, in a way, I get FFP. Hi, Lorraine, by the way, because if you spend unlimited money, the same clubs are going to be the top 4. And yes, not fair on other clubs, although it's up to the less fortunate clubs to go out and find investment. Yeah, but the thing is, what you're doing is you're just saying to people you're not allowed to invest. So it'll be like, say, for instance, Sainsbury's goes out and buys a small shop, a small independent shop. They pay the guy good money, we'll have your business. And then Sainsbury's want to chuck a load of stuff into that business, but you're not allowed to. And that's a bit like what it is in the Premier League at the moment. Mm-hmm. It's got to be fair market value. So it'll be like the same. So if Sainsbury's are going to say, right, okay, we're going to sell this, that, and t'other in this shop, that other shops wouldn't have in theirs. Other shops are going to say, oh, well, that's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair on them. So, I think they just want a fair for all. Masters is a brown nose in the 5 all the time. Can't stand that, man. I can't either as well, to be honest with you. Tanji says Trafford's a massive risk. Think too, a big move for him at his age as well. Thanks for explaining that, Tony. Masters can F off, absolutely. Guys, if you don't mind, can you smash that like if you're on It's All Black and White TV? That's fantastic. And if you're new to the channel, do hit that subscribe as well. Thank you. Right, moving on. Let's move on to the next bit because I've got a lot to go through here. Well, quite a few to go through anyway. So let's look at the next player. And here is the next one coming on screen right now. There he is. There you are. And that's Kevin Zenon. Now, he plays at Boca Juniors also, and he's been watched by us. And more impressively, this lad is actually learning English as well. So he has a contract till 2028, but he has a release clause of £13 million. £12.9 million to be exact. So 13 million quid, and he's yours. He's a midfielder. He's left-footed. He plays left midfield, but obviously he can play in the centre as well. Weaknesses to see is his ball control, but high pressing and playmaking are his strengths. So if somebody's got £13 million, hit his release clause and you've got a player there. He's played 2 games this season so far, not scored any goals. He's got 1 assist already in 2 games. Look at the game he played on the 20th of May, where he got a score rating of 8.2. He played 90 minutes. He got 1 assist in that game. He had 58 touches of the ball. 25 out of 32 passes were accurate. 3 key passes. 3 out of 11 crosses were accurate. 4 out of 5 long balls were accurate. He created 2 big chances. He had 2 shots on target, 1 off target. He had 1 dribble attempt, which was successful. He won 2 out of 6 ground duels. He lost possession 17 times. He made 1 foul. He was offside once as well. He made 1 interception, 1 tackle, and he dribbled past 3 times as well. And that was when they played Central Cordoba and won 4-2. And then his last game, which was recently the 2nd of June, and he played the full 90. Didn't score, didn't assist in that game. He had 59 touches of the ball, 21 out of 27 passes were accurate. He had no crosses were accurate out of 9. He made 2 key passes. He had 1 shot on target, 1 shot blocked. 2 out of 3 dribble attempts were successful. 5 out of 9 ground duels were won. He won 1 out of 2 aerial duels as well. He didn't commit any fouls, but he was fouled 3 times and he made 1 clearance, 1 interception, and he dribbled past as well. So I've heard a lot about this lad. He's been quite well talked about. Again, £13 million release clause. I would say, for me, that's a bargain. You know, and he could save you a lot of money being a midfielder as well. Youngster, you know, may not be first choice, but you've got somebody there who can come off the bench, probably help change a game. You know, yes, okay, plays left midfield. But, you know, what's your thoughts, John? And I'll ask Foxy, because Foxy's in the chat as well, so no doubt Foxy will say something, because this lad is quite highly rated.
Yeah, I mean, he's been watched by a lot of clubs as well in Europe as well. They must have rated this guy quite high. Again, I don't watch this guy play, but he could also play left back and left winger as well, by the way, if needs to be. But look, he's a young lad, 22, 23-year-old. I think it's easy to get as well, money-wise. And I don't think Newcastle have a problem paying the money as well, take a punt on this guy. But but we got so much in midfield, Tony. We've got 7 players in midfield. We need another one, don't we? Do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely, we don't need midfielders. But if he does come in, that's 8 of us, he's going to be leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, we know he's left-footed. It's been proved. And he said he's learning English as well, which is good. But I think he's got the talent that's there. The stats are good for what you're telling us. And look, at the end of the day, he used to play for Union Santa Fe as well before he moved to Boca Juniors, 2 appearances for the club as well. So I think, again, it'd be a punt. And will he settle in the Premier League? That's another thing you've got to look at as well.
Matthew, he says, "Hi guys, great show. Saw all this on John's channel. Jumped
Matthew.
over, liked and subscribed to Black and White. Interesting show. Matt from Up the Cherries and All Departments."
Thank you, Matthew.
Thanks, Matt. I mean, look, John, £13 million release clause. That's not an awful lot of money. And look, he could. I know there's other clubs in Europe are looking at this guy as well. I mean, look, again, one of these, you could come into the club and hit the ground running and be a fantastic signing. And a £13 million could end up being a bargain. Yeah. You know, you look at Madrid, you look at Barcelona, they buy these players when they're young. You know, you look at Vinny Jr., they bought him, and look what he's worth now, you know. And I don't know why we don't go in the South American market more. I mean, you look at Brighton, they've got a great record at it, you know. Caicedo, got him for $4 million, sold him for 100-odd million to Chelsea, you know. So they do it. If Barco becomes a great left back, he'll be the next one out of there, you know. Yeah. So why aren't we doing this, getting in that market?
That's down to Steve, Chief Scouts. Oh God, I'll come to in a minute, yeah. But sorry guys. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Tony, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's worth taking a punt. 30 million ain't a lot of money. I mean, Brighton's doing well, like you said. Barca, Real Madrid are pretty good at buying young South American talent as well. But if we get the right one in, I think Steve Nixon's doing a good job as well, trying to get these South American players coming in. But if you want a midfielder, we need someone's going to come in and hit the ground running. Yeah, I mean, Ederson is that player for Atalanta. Yeah, he's that player. Yeah, I'd rather go for him. Someone's going to come and make a difference and hit the ground running. Yeah. Going back to this lad, Zenon, yeah. I mean, you've paid 13 million for him. He's worth a punt. I mean, I wouldn't give him a 5-year. I'll probably give him a 4-year deal. See how he does. And if he comes, I will back the player. And who knows? He might be a success. Yeah. He might be a failure, but hopefully he'll be a success if we do get him. But it's rumours. There's other clubs after him as well. So I'm sure Fox will know about South American football.
Yeah. Tristan, I didn't ignore your question. I did actually start this question, so I did want to come back to it anyway. He says, Tony, as a fan for 38 years, what's wrong with wanting football we had before the fat controller? Because I won't mention the man's name. I feel for the kids who missed out them 90s, but this club needs those standards back. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong at all. You're absolutely spot on with that. Yeah. And the thing is, You know, when we were where we were in the 90s, it was us and Man U competing at the top end of the table. You know, and there was nobody shouting about anything then. Back then, nobody was shouting, "Oh, you know, it's always Newcastle and Man United." You know, I think it was since Chelsea got bought by Abramovich. Then obviously he started that off where he started just buying every big player and winning trophies. Then you had Sheikh Mansour come in, bought Man City, made Man City the team that they are now. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. I really do, Tristan. Absolutely. John, what do you think as well about Tristan's comment? I think he's bang on.
I think he's bang on as well. I really, 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 really do. I mean, the kids. He says, "I feel for the kids who's missed them 90s, but this time these thousand standards back." No, I think he's correct. I think he's absolutely correct, and we need to get that back. We will get it back eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously Tristan was getting a bit impatient. I didn't answer his question, but I wasn't skipping it. I had actually started to come back out with it, but I mean, he said, "Look, he's a left winger, but I'm off." Asked you a question, and you were rude to not answer it. I wasn't rude to answer it. I had started. I was going to come back to it, Tristan. That's why. So I don't deliberately ignore people's mate. So
I never do.
So there we go. Yeah, we have got something from Foxy. There we go. Foxy says Zenon will be a great cheap buy for whoever gets him. Question is, do we need more left-sided players? That's the thing. I'd have him ahead of some of the players in our squad, but can't see us moving many out.
That's the problem.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I mean,
but then if Joe Linton gets an injury, you've got him to step in, haven't you? So because Joe Linton plays on that left side of midfield.
He does.
Anderson's done it there, but is he really better there or not? Or is he better, as a winger? I'm not just sure with Anderson at the moment, but yeah, whoever gets him, Foxy, you're getting he's cheap for whoever gets him. That's it. He beat the Olympics as well for Argentina.
Yeah, watch him out as well. I think he could be good. We never know.
Yeah. Not needed. He felt overlooked, and talking before timeout is important. Tino says Andy Howe and Steve Nixon have an obsession with English players. It seems that way. We need to invest more in scouts. The money paid for these scouts can get us hidden gems, absolutely tangy. How can you have 90 standards in the modern game? Times change and so do standards. Yeah, we're not saying about the same standards as the 90s, but I think he just means competing like we used to in the 90s. The world's changed 10 times since the 90s, absolutely, yeah. It's now irrelevant. You can't win the league with 65 points. No, you cannot. Look at, you got to have at least 90. Recruitment in St James has been good. Did not work out last summer with Tonali and the younger players, i.e. Hall and Livermore. They come good in every confidence. I can see Joe Willock even says, yeah, I've heard that one as well.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't leave. I mean, look, Joe Willock, I said on a show with Shelley that a fit Joe Willock plays 4 games, probably get us 15 goals.
Yeah.
Don't write him off too early, man. Don't write him off.
No, we're not writing him off, John, but he's been injury prone, hasn't he? So I think
that's the problem.
He's one of those you could sell and get decent money for him still. And, it's a shame because he's a quality player.
He is brilliant. But injuries, you've got to find out what's going on with his injuries and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's about time. You've got to find out. Bring them back in. Then he gets injured again. And it didn't work.
Yeah. Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Right. Next player. It's the one that's been talked about at the minute. And it's this guy here, James Trafford. Right. James Trafford. Look, I'll admit this now. Last year, after watching him at the Euros, I did say at the time, I would have him in Newcastle as a backup. But he went to Burnley. Obviously, the Vincent Company factor may have had something to do with that as well. But look, I thought, let's see how he gets on in the Premier League. Yes, he had one error that he let a goal in with. I mean, look, if I run through his stats last season, 28 games he played. He was in Team of the Week twice last season. He conceded 2.2 goals per game. He made 3.8 saves per game. His successful runouts per game was 100%. He conceded 62 goals in 28 games. 50 from inside the box, 12 from outside the box. He made 106 saves. 78 saves from inside the box, 28 from outside the box. He caught one save and parried 32 of them. He got two yellow cards, and he only kept 2 clean sheets as well. His passing is only 62% accurate per game. I mean, look, I'm not sold on this transfer, if I'm honest. The only way I'm going to be sold on James Trafford coming to Newcastle United is, and I'm going to say this now with bated breath, because look, the reason I want to say this is because I'm thinking of a different way here. Right. Now, this might not go down well with a lot of people. And so, but hear me out, guys and girls, because there is a reason to this. I would say, let's clear out the goalkeeping department completely. Sell Pope. Get rid of Dubravka. Then what you do is, Gillespie's going to be 3rd/4th choice. I would then go out and buy a goalkeeper. That can be your first choice keeper. Goalkeepers aren't expensive. Yes, okay, the likes of Alisson was 60 million quid for Liverpool. But look what you've got for his quality. Now then, if we're looking at Mamardashvili, 35 million quid is his release clause, apparently. If we're wanting to spend up to 20 million for James Trafford, now the word is Burnley now want 40 million for him. Also, Liverpool want Trafford. So does Bayern Munich. Now then, so what I look at this, right? So why I'm saying clear the goalkeeping department out. Nick Pope, he's had 2 dislocated shoulders now. Now's the time. Is he going to get through next season injury-free? We know he's not best with his footwork. He got to the top 4. Yes, he's been great for us, Nick Pope. But is this the time to move Nick Pope on in the summer and get a first choice keeper in from somewhere else? That's the first question. Then you'd bring the likes of Trafford in. If you can get Trafford for, say, 15 million plus 5 million add-ons, then you bring him in as backup. And then you let him play in cup games or whatever. But then you've got your first choice there. But bear in mind, if you're going to bring a first choice and you want a first choice that can come out, that is confident with his footwork, and can play the ball. There is a few keepers out there who can do that. There is one in England, which I'm not going to name, can do that. And we all know who that is. But the thing is, right, I'm going to ask you this, John. With what I've just said there, would you do that? Would you sell Pope in the summer and get a better first choice in? Knowing about his shoulder injuries, or would you stick with Pope for next season?
I could kind of see what you're trying to say. I still keep Pope, yeah. But if Benny was 40 mil for Trafford, I say forget it. Forget it. You not get 40 mil for this guy. But I see where you're coming from, right? We do need a goalkeeper. My choice would be Mamardashvili. Definitely have him, right? But I'd rather pay 35 for the keeper rather than pay 40 million for Trafford. But you said there, Tony, clear the goalkeeping department, yeah. Get rid of it, yeah. But I've seen comments coming in now about Pope saying that he's a gamble, yeah. I'm going to say for the first time, Pope is a fantastic keeper. I love him, yeah. But I keep Pope, get my Mamazashvili in, have Pope as number 2. I'm going to say it for the first time. Get Pope as number 2 because there's injuries and that. But on this day, it's fantastic. But Mamazashvili is a younger keeper. He's 23, and he's played in one of the top leagues in the world, La Liga, for Valencia. And yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I tell you what, but you can't pay. Now, if Burnley wants 40 mil, no one don't know this, whether they want 20 or 40, nobody knows. Yeah. But one thing I'm going to say, if Trafford comes in as number 1, I'm backing this keeper. I'm going to back him because this keeper's got potential. And forget about the 62 goals conceded last season, 78 goals last season, whatever you want to call it, yeah? But I would back Eddie's and the management's judgment here, yeah? I would back him, yeah? But this is the thing, Tony. This is the thing. It's the tough one here. But whoever comes in, Trafford or Mamazashvili, I'll back him. It's simple as that. But I still, like I said, if we don't get Mamazashvili, I have Pope as number 1. But if Mamazashvili comes in, I have the Georgians as number 1, Pope's number 2. And then we forget about Trafford, yeah? But if Trafford comes in, I'll back the keeper. What do you think, Tony? What do you think, man? Do you think I'm right?
I mean, look,
in a way? It's a catch 22 here.
Let's put this another way. Right,
Yeah.
okay. So Trafford's 21, 22.
Yeah.
Right. You go back to when we signed Shea Given. He was 21 when we signed him.
Yeah.
When Shea Given fit, yes, okay, fair enough. We know he looked good when he was on loan at Sunderland.
Yeah.
And we signed him from Black. We got him. Now, you look at Shea Given. When he first came in, he made a few mistakes.
He did.
Because he was only young. But he got over that. And that's what... Look, Trafford's got the potential to become a great keeper. And probably a future England number 1. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But yes, okay. If he was playing for a different team last season, say he was playing for... Let's say Wolverhampton Wanderers, for instance. He may not have conceded that amount of goals for Wolves because they've got a good back 4 with like Aït-Nouri, Kilman, So they've got quite a good back 4. So, but when he's playing for Burnley and what he's got in front of him was piss poor, let's be honest. It was really poor. I mean, we ripped them apart. Yes, he made mistakes, we know that. Then number 49 comes back into goal, Muric. Again, another ex-City goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Now, Muric had some great games for Burnley last season when he came back in. And that's why he stayed in as the number 1 till the end of the season because... And he nearly actually kept Burnley up because he did play well. I mean, he saved Isak's penalty as well, didn't he? So, look, I've seen some Burnley fans saying they should have stuck with Muric from the start of the season and they may have still been in the Premier League. Some Burnley fans are saying that they're all waiting with that. They've all got their cars ready waiting. They want to go and drive Trafford to wherever he's going to. And they said, we'll all sit with our cars, revving our engines, waiting for the first one to go and pick up Trafford. So, look, Burnley fans are wanting rid of him. I mean, look, I don't doubt he can become a top-class keeper. But he's not there yet. That's the thing. He's not there yet. And he needs time to grow. But then you don't really want to bring a keeper in. That's going to be second choice. And he's not playing the game because he's not going to get the game time. But because we haven't got the strong goalkeeping department, it's not like we can say, right, okay, send him out on loan or loan him back somewhere. Or loan him to a fellow Premier League team or a fellow down to a championship side and say, look, there you go and have a season in the championship and play some games. Because we haven't got that level of goalkeeper. So it's not like back to when we had Shea Given, Steve Harper. Look how long it took for Steve Harper to break into the team. He had to wait till Shea Given left the club because, he couldn't get past Shea Given. Well, that's when we had a strong goalkeeping department. And Dubravka has to go in the summer. You know, I hope he has a good Euros. I hope Slovakia get to the next round at least. You know, get through the group stage and get to the next round. And you know, but Dubravka has to go in the summer. While I'm not totally sold on Trafford coming in, if that's the way the club are going, we have to accept it. At the end of the day, they're the ones spending the money. But just remember, guys and girls, whoever we bring in this summer transfer window, we don't have the European football next season. So from the minute that Premier League starts, Eddie Howe is under pressure. Because if we're struggling and we're nowhere near a European place by Christmas, do you think Eddie Howe will still beat Newcastle? I don't.
Probably.
What about you, John?
Well, I hope he does, but I can understand. I can see where you're coming from, Tony. I really could, but
especially if our owners want Europe, John. If our owners want Europe, John, and we're nowhere near that, they'll make the change, and they won't be frightened to do it either.
I totally agree. And a trophy as well. We've got to be in a position to win a trophy as well. We have got to win a trophy this season as well. Because I said it many a time now, elite sports is all about winning trophies, yeah? We've got to win something, yeah? Is Eddie the man to do it? Big up to Juice, by the way. He's one of my mods, by the way, as well. And,
no, we don't want Ramsdale. Thank you very much, mate. Not after that. Not after that showing you that night either. No, you can keep him in Arsenal.
He'd probably say, "Do you want Nketiah next?" He'd probably ask, "Do you want Eddie Nketiah next?" You what?
No, I don't want him either.
Edward. You know, I don't know what Matty Sandaguna says, and the King or something, King Mutua, whatever you want to call it, but you know what it is, right? But he has got to get us in a trophy this season, or get us in the top 4. I think he needs to get either of those two. If he doesn't, I'll be worried for him. But also as well, the Saudis are winners as well. They want to be the best. And finishing inside Europe is not good at all whatsoever, man. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ricardo Voss says, Tony Wall last seen you in the tune. She reckons you're canny. She wasn't off starstruck, mind. Reckons you look like Paul Newman. Well, that wasn't me. That wasn't me she's seen in, so I don't know who that was. Then, yeah, but I look like Paul Newman. I wish I had his money. That's for sure. Tanji says Trafford wanted to play, but that's why Man City got rid of him. But you do think he would be a number 2 behind Pope? Yeah, he would be, absolutely. Lorraine says Trafford is a better option. That other guy, Mohamed Ashfari, his stats are awful.
Well, the thing is, so right, I mean, when it comes to the Premier League, he'd probably have a slightly better defence in front of him. Yeah. Valencia do concede goals and that. But that's not down to him. That's down to the defence in front of him.
Tino says, you have to remember he's playing the shit Burnley team, which is exactly what I said to you before. I said, you know, it's what he's got in front of him. Pope conceded 65 for the season. Burnley went down and we signed him. Very true. Foxy says, if we sign Trafford, I don't want ever to hear certain fans complain about us not having money to spend on a winger or a forward. Dubs letting 2 per game, Pope 2, different class. Absolutely. Pope 1 and 2. I mean, David says 40 million for Trafford. They must be mental. Absolutely. If we sell Pope, the only replacement I would have is Mike Mannion. Yes, absolutely. Paul, I would have Mannion.
That's the keeper I want. That's the keeper I like to have. If we get in the top 4, like, you know what I mean. But we're not going to get him because he'd be in Milan for a long time. He's 30 now. He'll be there for a long time.
Well, he's not. He's refused a new deal, hasn't he, John?
Has he? Well, that's the first I've heard of. But if that's the case,
that's what they were saying. I'm sure that's what was said a few months ago. He's refused a new deal.
I tell you what, though, if that is the case, we should be all over this keeper. We should be all over this guy. Because I tell you what, for me, I think he's the world's best keeper. One of the world's best keeper for me.
And I think they're saying he wants out of Milan because of the racial abuse he's had as well.
Try and just have a conversation. Put him in a conversation, Tony. Get this guy in the conversation.
There he is.
We look for a goalkeeper. Just pay what we want. Just pay what he's worth and just give him the money. I think this guy is a fantastic keeper. And if you get him, I think it'd be amazing. But we have to be European. Yeah. And then before people say we got to be in European football to get this guy. No, we haven't. Sven Botman, Bruno Guimaraes, Isak came to Newcastle without European football, right?
Yeah.
So we're selling the project. And if he wants to play league football, let's get this guy in. Do you know what I mean? And that will solve everything about goalkeeper. In fact, if he's only signing for the summer, that'll do.
Yeah, absolutely. He kept 10 clean sheets last season. He had 2 errors that led to a shot and 1 that led to a goal. But that can happen to any goalkeeper as well. But yeah, I mean, look, he conceded. Just trying to see how many. He conceded 34 goals last season. Mike Mannion did. But I think he'd cost a lot of money, though. That's the thing, John. The money side of it. He is rated at around 44 million euros, but yeah, he's probably worth a lot more than that, I would say.
I totally agree.
And he's got a contract till 2026.
2 years left. Oh, it'd be a lot of money then. It'd be a lot of money. But also as well, according to Football Italia, Vio Hernandez and Magnon, they're both on the market and they're both not safe. They're not what's the word? They're not untouchables at Milan. So the money's got to be right for them. If the money comes in, then they'll go. It's as simple as that. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with you, John. That's the one. Right, okay. Let's get back to the comments before we get into another player. Burnley want double we offered lol. What about Edison from City? City want to sell him. Do you know what? He's not a bad keeper, Edison. He's not a bad keeper. He's good with his feet as well.
He is.
Pope's a gamble next season. Injuries, absolutely, Mark. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I didn't want it to sound I want rid of Nick Pope, but why I said it was because I'm just thinking he's had 2 dislocated shoulders. Is that now going to be a weak point for him? That is the thing.
That's the point now.
Pickford's not coming to the tune. No, he's not. But I tell you what it is though. Do you know what? Can you imagine if we did sign Jordan Pickford and he said, yes, I'll come to Newcastle? Can you imagine the meltdown in Sunderland? Oh my God. It would be everywhere. And it would be the first time we've signed a player from Sunderland, by the way, let's be honest. I mean, Paul Bracewell came, and he wasn't a bad player. Lionel Perez, we'll see a lot less about him. Yeah, I mean, look. But, if Pickford signed, can you imagine the meltdown in Mackhamland? It would be absolutely hilarious. Can you imagine it, John? Twitter would be a meltdown from Sunderland fans, wouldn't it?
It'd be an absolute mayhem. It's going to be Bellum. Absolutely Bellum, Tony. Do you know what? It'd be World War III all over again, I'm telling you. And we're not talking between 1919 and 1919 and, is it 39 to 45, the first one? But I tell you what, it will not go down well. Because his decision to sign this guy, right? Jordan Pickford to Newcastle, right? They better win us a title. That's all I'm saying. They better win us a title. And it will all be forgotten. Yeah. But Jordan Pickford to Newcastle, that ain't going to happen. No way. And he wouldn't come. He wouldn't come.
Absolutely. Pickford refused to get changed in England in the dressing room when he played for England. I think what happened was he went in the wrong dressing room because when he comes for Everton, he goes in the away dressing room, doesn't he? So that's where he went, apparently, and realised it wasn't the right dressing room. John, have you seen Mohamedashvili? His crap. His stats are not great.
Thing is, though, right? I mean, none of the people in the chat don't watch La Liga, right? I mean, no one knows. You look at the stats, cool, yeah? But if you look at all-round mobility, right, you got to look at his saves. You got to look at the way he plays well out from the back, sort of thing. Yeah, yes, Valencia score goals. It's not down to him. For me, I mean, he's been really good, but the problem is the back four in front of him. That is the thing. So you can't pin it on the keeper. You got to pin it on the defensive of him. So that is the thing. No one don't watch La Liga football in this chat. Do you know what I mean? I try to, but you know what? just wait and see. He may come to Newcastle, right? If he does come to Newcastle, Tony, right? And he could be a superstar. All goalkeepers have bad days, do you know what I mean?
David says, I'd bring in Mama Dashvili, have him as number 2 this season, then number 1 next season when he's gelled with the squad and more. Tanji says, it's not easy task bringing in a backup keeper. What you need is 2 keepers at similar level to compete against each other. Yeah, absolutely spot on with that one. Mm. Joel says, we need quality now, not maybe players, no matter the position they play. Yeah, absolutely. Foxy's come out with one. Yes. So Foxy is saying, the guy that's on screen now. Brazil's second choice after Alisson in Copa America available for £17 million. Bento, already better than Pope. Get him before he goes to Inter Milan or Madrid. Atletico. I think we spoke about this before, Foxy, didn't we? If I remember, you brought this guy up before. Bento. Yeah. I think he's about 6'5", 6'6".
6'3". 6'3", and he plays
for 3 years.
Paranese.
Yeah, where Bruno started.
Yeah, 114 appearances for the Brazilian club, 2 Brazilian national caps as well. 24 years old, and if he wants to know anything about Newcastle, then he can only talk to one guy, and that's Bruno. And he's extended this. I think his contract is up in 2025. I think I could be wrong on that.
26, John.
26. So he's gettable. He's definitely gettable for a good price. So they need the money, especially in Brazil. And 24 years of age. Oh, he's 25 in 2 days' time.
Yeah. Tomorrow, actually. Strengths is his handling and reflexes. He's got no outstanding weaknesses. He's played 7 games this season. He's conceded 4 goals, and they've all been from inside the box. And he's passing at 68% per game. He's had 4 clean sheets this season as well in his 7 games. If I go back to last season's stats and just have a look, because that'll give you a better idea over the whole season. So he played all 33 games last season, team of the week once, conceding 1.1 goals per game. He saved 2 out of 6 penalties. He conceded 37 goals in those games. 29 from inside the box, 8 from outside the box. He made 104 saves, 60 inside the box, 43 from outside the box. Caught 4 and parried 17. Had 1 assist last season as well for a goalkeeper. And only got 3 yellow cards all season. So again, yeah, absolutely. I like the sound of him, Foxy. I really do. Absolutely. I totally agree on that one, Foxy. But whether we are looking down that road at the Brazilian keeper, but I tell you what, yeah, we should be. We should be all over that.
Oh, 100%. There are some cracking keepers out there. Yeah. You got Bento, right? Magnon, if he's gettable. I doubt he will. Kelleher is a good shout as well. Kelleher, Tony. I tell you what, you don't do number 2 all the time. Why not go for him? He's played some great games. He played in front of a fantastic back 4 for Liverpool. Good at the great saves. Brings the ball out from the back as well. Do you know what it is, right? I like this keeper, Kelleher. I like this keeper a lot.
Phillips says if we want a young keeper, Kelleher from Liverpool, he's a better keeper than Trafford with his feet as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, you wish they'd kept De Gea because of how poor on has been, yeah. Jeremy says risky bringing Trafford as backup when Pope has a dodgy shoulder. Exactly. No young keepers in the Championship. Lorraine says Mamardashvili has 35% clean sheets and conceded 37 goals and 41 appearances. Eddie says Gunners.
Do you know what it is with Drew, right? I mean, it should be a Ketia. It should be a Ketia. Nah. So for me, I think Drew, big up to Drew's, by the way. Do follow him on Instagram, by the way. He's a fantastic lad as well, by the way. Pure football. Speaks sense. He's Arteta out as well. And also as well, right? He means Eddie Howe. Not Eddie Ketia.
Nick says, Casey says Ramsdale's linked. Well, look, if Sean Casey's saying Ramsdale's linked, that means he's signing tomorrow morning, is he? So, right, okay, whatever. The same guy who said Torsen was coming in and didn't come, did he? So let's hope he is linked with us, and let's hope he goes elsewhere then. Keep up the good work for Fabrizio Casey. Ferdinand Kusum says, I think we need to keep Minteh, the guy's good on the right wing. I agree. Right. Scott says, is David De Gea still available on a free? If so, would you sign him? He's still free. He's still available. Would you sign him? Do you know what? His backup, I would say, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He won the Golden Glove and then Man U dumped him.
I agree. I mean, the reason they haven't picked him up because he's on massive wages. Like, he was on 375k a week at Man United.
Yeah, but would he not take a pay cut, John? Do you not think?
I think he needs to. And also, if he is going to sign for any club, not just us, any club, right, he needs to be getting games as well and get his speed up, going to back up the speed because he's not jumping straight away. But I still think he'll do a job. He'll still do a wonderful job, man.
Theo Hernandez would be a real coup. Venison come when we had no Europe. Yeah, absolutely, Mick. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He was at Sunderland as well. Pickford does have good goal distribution, good shot stopper for little arm, says Tangi.
Yeah, true.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though, you know. Look, I know we all, you know, what we think of Pickford. But look, the lad actually come out and said St James's Park's always rocking and it's one of the best grounds he goes to. Now, obviously, that might not have gone down well in Sunderland, but that was music to our ears to hear that. And do you know what? I think he likes the piss take out of him over T-Rex and everything. I think he loves it, to be honest. And I think he just laps it up with the crowd. I mean, John, if the club went for Jordan Pickford, would you be against it?
I think they need to do the research. They need to do the research for a start, yeah, and see how the fans takes to him as well. But I think they just burnt a lot between our fans and Pickford, by the way. I'm not going to lie, but if they get him, right, I will back him. But they have got to win us a trophy, and it'll be all forgotten. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sure that it must see sense not to get this guy. There'll be emails and tweets as well to make sure they do not get Pickford, and they will listen. If they don't want him, they will listen.
Yeah, I mean, John, he did keep 13 clean sheets last season.
He did. I mean, in a Paul Everton side, which picked up later on in the season, to be fair, but to be fair, I think he's an excellent keeper for me, but I would not have him. Let's talk about Pickford, the goalkeeper, on his ability on that pitch. Yeah, you know what? We know he's England number one for a reason. I wouldn't have him Newcastle United, nowhere near. And the trouble is, though, people think I'm talking about him and saying that we want the guy. No, I do not. There's better there's other keepers you can get.
George Eaton says, afternoon, Tony, John and Jazz. Good afternoon to you, George. Hope you're well. Guys, don't forget to hit the like if you can help. That really does help the channel. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and hit the subscribe. I'm 28 away now from 1,200. Gordon says we got to sell Longstaff to Leicester. We're going to come on to that one. Bento saving accuracy has been pretty insane for the season. 85%, yeah. Just winding you up, says Mick. If we really went to get rid of Pope, I would take De Gea before Ramsdale, absolutely. Got to go. See you later, trolls. Take care, mate. Take care. Great show, he says. Right. So let's talk about another player now. And yes, the one that's on everybody's lips at the minute is Yankuba Minteh. Now, Minteh had a great season last season on loan at Feyenoord. Right. Now then, this is where things are going to be said here. Because look, right, we signed him for £7 million from Odense. Loaned him to Feyenoord. Obviously, he's back with us now. He scored last season. He got 10 goals and 5 assists in his debut season. in the Eredivisie. He started 17 games out of 27, and he got Team of the Week once. Now, this lad can play. Remember, he's only 19. He's 20 next month. And he's only going to get better. He's a raw talent. Now then. Why? Yes, we know Arne Slot's gone to Liverpool. And Arne Slot worked with Minteh last season. Now, I'm just wondering, where's this £40 million all of a sudden come from that they want to sign him for £40 million? For somebody that we have not seen yet in a black and white shirt. Now, I'll tell you what it is. If this club sell Minteh before we see him in a black and white shirt, I will be highly pissed. Because I'll tell you now, I want to see this guy in pre-season. I want to see this guy start for us next season. We are looking for a right winger. This lad could save us a hell of a lot of money. This lad can play with both feet. If you go and watch the goals he scored last season for Feyenoord, he uses both feet. He's not like Miggy, who's got to use his left foot. He can use his left or his right foot to score. Unlike Miggy. Now, I want the club to sell Miggy ahead before even Minteh. I don't want even Minteh in that conversation of being sold. Why is it we can go out and buy a gem like that for £7 million, then Liverpool think they can knock on the door and say, there you are, there's £40 million. Oh, we know you have to sell because of PSR rules. No, Liverpool, fuck off. You're not getting them. Simple as. Because at the end of the day, I want this lad in the black and white shirt. I am sick to death that we find a gem and then all of a sudden the sharks from the big clubs start circling around like vultures. That's what they are, vultures. Well, I'll tell you now, we are not the selling club. We are not owned by the fat controller no more. He might have done something like that. These owners won't. Well, I hope they don't. Because I'll tell you now, there's other names that need to go out that door before even Minteh is even mentioned. And the first one is Mickey Almiron. I'm sorry, he's done. He had his purple patch the season before last. Last season, he was dreadful. He was woeful. Get him out the club. Wilson is done, I'm afraid. Because injury prone. Plays 2 games, gets injured. You know? Plays against Forest, comes off with an injured tit. And is out for like 9 weeks. You know? Another one who's moaning about the club. Well, if you don't want to be here, Wilson, go. Simple. Just go, you know? I mean, John, you know, I'm having a rant here about this Minteh business, but look, I don't want him going from this club. I want him given the chance at this club because I believe he will get even better and he could even take the Premier League by storm next season if we don't loan him back out.
Yeah, facts. Absolutely right. I mean, I've seen tweets as well saying
sorry, John. And also one thing, John, and also, what would happen if we sold Minteh to Liverpool?
Hello, it's coming.
And we played them in the last game of the season at St James's Park. And he scores a winner for Liverpool that wins them the title. That would just be like stabbing somebody through the heart.
Yeah,
agree, John?
Absolute facts. And people's got to understand now, right? I've seen social media, right, and I've seen some crap being written down. And I posted on a tweet, right, a quick tweet on Luke Edwards, right? I mean, you're not a fan of Luke anyway, but the fact of the matter is, and I posted on a tweet, what sense does it make sending this lad? We've got Miggy and Murphy in the team. Do you know what I mean? It makes absolutely no sense, yeah? Minteh, right, is the next best thing as far as concerned, right? He's a talent, yeah? 40 mil for Ketia, or Ketia, nah. The fact of the matter is, right, I mean, look, you can't sell him already. Do you know what I mean? Because of PSR or FFP. Blame the Premier League for that. I do not want this kid going. I've seen tweets saying, I'll be happy to send 40 million quid. I'll take it to where he wants to go for that sort of money. Because you know why? Because it helps our FPSR. Yeah? Tony, you are so bang on what you said there. The players to get rid of before Yankuba Minteh. Yeah? 36. Almiron. Yeah? If they could pay the wage for Matt Target, he can go. Callum Wilson. Yeah? That's for there. Jamal Lewis. Isaac Hayden. Yeah? They need to be gone before Minteh, right? You said there, if we sold Minteh to Liverpool and we played the last game of the season, he scores that goal in the 95th minute to win the game, right? Whoever's decision to made that decision to sell him should be sacked. Should be sacked. Poor judgment, poor decision, poor business sense. Yeah. But I'm not going to worry about it because Minteh won't be going anywhere. Eddie needs to check him out in pre-season. Yeah. I haven't played in the pre-season. Miggy, as much as I love him, had his time. Yeah. Is he going to improve? No, he will not. Longstaff, is he going to improve? No, he will not. Target, injured, yeah. Hayden, right? He'll not be playing for Newcastle again. Jamal Lewis, he'll not be playing for Newcastle again. Yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah. So that's what? 5 players there? Yeah, but he's going to play for the Leeds. How are you going to get rid of him? Yeah. You got to try. Yeah. At the end of the day, you got to tell him you're not playing for Newcastle United again. Go and find yourself a different club. Yeah. I'll tell you now, right? If Minteh leaves Newcastle to go to Liverpool or any other top club, someone's going to be in big, big trouble, man. And Shelley said Minteh is being linked with Borussia Dortmund as well on loan. For me personally, I keep Minteh right here because I've got a funny feeling, and I don't want to put pressure on the lad. He will be a star in the future. I don't want to pin too much pressure on the lad, but if you do it in the VC, right, that's a tough league, terrifically to hone your skills. You could do it here. But I don't want anyone coming on here and say Minteh needs to be sold for PSR. No, and no. Get rid of the players at the club before him.
Yeah, absolutely.
In out with the old, in with the new. In with the new. Because I tell you now, right, I play Minteh every week. I give him 10 games. Yeah? And Miggy will have to fight first place. Murphy, especially I love him, needs to fight first place. Yeah? It's as simple as that. Yeah? Miggy, I think he needs to find a new club.
Yeah,
if anything, because he needs to find a new club now because I'm speaking facts now. I'm speaking the truth. If you want to win titles, right? You want to win titles, you want to win trophies, right? Because elite sports all like winning trophies, right? Is Miggy going to win us a trophy? Yeah? You have to ask yourself the question. And I think our people on the fan base now needs to start being ambitious, yeah? And start dreaming of winning trophies, yeah?
The problem with Miggy is, John, he keeps saying he doesn't want to leave, but the owners are going to have to turn around to him and say, look, sorry, we want to progress as a club. Look what happened to St. Maximin. You know, he didn't want to leave Newcastle, ESM. But the owners explained that they have to sell him to satisfy the FFP.
Yeah, man.
And he understood that and he left. Even though he didn't want to, but he left because he knew it was for FFP reasons. And it helped us out when he left.
100%, man. He has to, because I love ASM. I do love ASM for what he does for the club, not just for the football club, for the community as well, and the fans, and he loves the young ones as well. But it's just for footballing reasons. He wants to be playing games. He does not want to be sitting on the bench. He wants to be playing games. Yeah. And that is the thing, yeah? Then you have to ask the question about Miggy. He needs to be playing games. So, because I'll tell you something now, if I was a Paraguayan coach, right, and he doesn't get games, the World Cup is 2 year time. He doesn't hardly get games. He should not be picked for the World Cup. I'm sorry, Foxy. Yeah. I know you love him. I know you love Miggy. I know you're a fan, but we want to win trophies. And unfortunately, he will not take us there. That's just my opinion. He will not win us trophies. And if I was Paraguayan coach and he does get much game time, I will not have picked him. But then again, they will still pick him anyway because he's the poster boy of Paraguayan football.
Yeah. Right.
It's
quickly
facts.
Move on to the next player. Yeah, absolutely, John. Right. So this guy's being talked about. It's been reported in the Mirror today that Leicester City want to sign Longstaff for around £15 million. Now, would £15 million be enough to buy him? Do you know what I would say? Absolutely, why not? Thing is, because he's homegrown, he's come through our academy, he goes down that 100% profit route. So that's a little bit of an FFP loophole. but it goes down that route because you make 100% profit on this guy. Some people say we should be holding out for 25 million. He's got 1 year left on his contract. If Leicester want him for 15 million, absolutely. I'll come up and drive him myself if I have to Leicester. But look, he's been good for us. He was great under Rafa. Yes, under Cabicid, he lost 2 years of football because Cabicid's a dinosaur with dinosaur tactics. He's the crap manager who wants the Leicester job. Well, if you go there, Sean, you won't be playing much football. And if Cabicid ends up at Leicester, let's hope they don't take him seriously. But look, he started playing well under Eddie Howe. But yes, we know he's had an injury last season. We still don't know what the effects of that injury's like. But look, if Leicester want him for 15 million, I'd say yes, please. Thank you. And thank you for your job here, Sean. But, you've helped us through the transition period. But now it's time we move to the next level and wish him well. What about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, let's be real, right? I mean, look, people are going to say, but he's a local lad. And not only that, he's Newcastle born. I get that. But for me, I know Foxy's having a go here, sort of thing. I'm looking forward to what you have to say on that.
Gambia. Lovely.
Yeah. There you go. This is why we do not want to sell this guy. Yeah. But for me, back to Longstaff very, very quickly. You know my thoughts on this guy. Yeah. I like him, but, well, I'm sure he's a humble guy. I never even meet Sean Longstaff. Thinks he's a wonderful kid. Yeah. But I want to judge as a footballer. Yeah. I want to judge him as a footballer, and that is it. Yeah. He's not going to win us anything. Yeah. I think it's time for him to move on. Yeah. He has to move on for the best interest of Newcastle. Yeah. It's as simple as that. And I think if Leicester comes calling for him, I think that'd be a perfect club for him. A perfect club for him. Yeah. To play football. Do you know what I mean? And I hope he goes. I hope Leicester follows it up. Yeah. 15 million is enough. I would just say 100% profit, helps PSR. He's on about 40 grand a week. That'll help us a lot. So I'll just say thanks, Sean, but we want to move on. You got to move on, man. And that's it.
Yeah. I can honestly see them being a replacement for KDH, which worries me, as I think KDH is a better player overall. Oh, Dewsbury Hall.
I'm not being in trouble.
Lol, Miggy, who's been Paraguayan Player of the Year multiple times, won't make a World Cup because he's a bench player in the Prem. Shall we go through the Paraguay squad?
Listen, I don't know a lot about Paraguayan football, and I don't know a lot about Paraguayan team, yeah. But only thing I know about is Miggy, yeah. Foxy, I know you love him, man. But let's chat about him about Newcastle, yeah, not for Paraguayan, yeah. You love him. I like him, yeah. He's a humble guy. I get that. Ask the question: is he going to win us a championship? He's going to win us a trophy, yeah. You need to answer that question, man. I love Foxy. I love to get Foxy on my shows on all things South American football. Oh, and by the way, one day I might even go to Brazil myself. I may do.
Michael says, "I read lads, yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Hope you're well too." Right, another player being linked with an exit as well. It's this man here, Kieran Trippier. Now it's said to be Saudis interested in him, and also Bayern Munich. Now, there is some rumours going around about Kieran Trippier at the minute. And what they're saying is his family is prepared to move. So, look, we know last season he didn't have the best of seasons. He's coming up for 34. Didn't have the best of seasons last season. Had some mistakes in him, which cost us games. Look, he was our first signing under the new ownership. He started the ball rolling. Come to us when we were in the bottom three. After coming away from championship winning side Atletico Madrid. Look, he's been a great servant for us. if the money's there, is it time to cash in on Trippier? In some ways, I'm going to say yes, because I think, look, we've got Livramento there who can take over from Trippier. And whether we can get Ashby to get up to the standard as well, I'm not so sure. But maybe he needs another loan, Harrison Ashby. Look, we got Kraft who can play right back as well if needed. I mean, if we were to sell Trippier, he's got a year left on his contract, so it would be good business in a way because we get a bit of money from him, get the money back that we paid on him. But, you know, obviously we'll be losing the leader. But then, if it was to Saudi, is Trippier going to really turn down a huge last one big payday? That'll set him up for the rest of his life, maybe. So, you know, it's one of those. It's a catch-22. Look, I do like Kieran Trippier. I think he's been great for us, let's be honest. It's a hard one. But you've got to look at his age. How much is he going to play for us next season? Are his legs starting to go a little bit now? This is probably going to be his last international tournament for England. Well, it's going to be his last international tournament for England. It'll probably be the last time he plays for England after this tournament. He'll probably retire from international football, I would imagine. John, Kieran Trippier, would you sell him, yes or no?
I'll probably give him one more year, but maybe not as a first teamer. And I'll tell you for why. I'll go with Shelley again as well. It's because his wife wanted to leave Madrid, and I don't think his wife will go back abroad again. So that's one of them. Yeah. A lot of people are saying that he could be off to Saudi. Again, nobody knows that, Tony. Yeah. So it's like 2 and 2 equals 5. Yeah. I don't think his wife will go back abroad again. Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna make a prediction now. I think he'll get one more year, right, in Newcastle, right, whether he'll be in the first team or not. I mean, I still have Livramento playing next season. Yeah, I think he's going to be really, really good. Be careful you don't cross the border into Paraguay. I don't think I'll be popular in Paraguay, will I? Any Paraguay fans? Give us a yell, yeah? But go back to Trippier, right? I mean, for me, he's been fantastic. Yeah. Last season wasn't the greatest. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. But again, a lot of people now saying that Bayern could be back in for him. Yeah, I don't think he'll go to any. I think he'll be here at Newcastle. Then after that 1 year, I think he'll either go back to close to Manchester, find a club there, or he'll probably give up football altogether. That's just my opinion. But I say be here next season, but I don't think he'll be playing much games for us. I don't know what you think, mate.
Yeah, look, John. As I said, it's one of those, you know. It's a tricky one. Do you cash in or do you not? That's the thing. Oh God, honestly, it really is a difficult one, John. But again, it's one of them. It depends how the club. It depends what the club do. That's the thing. If the club want to cash in on him and think the time's right to cash in on him, then obviously they will. But I don't know, John. It really is. It really is a hard one. So I think we'll just have to wait and see how that one plays out with the club, you know. But we shall see, John. We shall see on that one.
Yeah, I think so. It's a really tough one, man. It's a really tough one, but we just got to wait and see what happens. And we just find out in summer. But things can change, Tony. But I hope you stay for one more year just to bring up Livramento properly.
Yeah, I just want to bring this up, John. Not Newcastle related, by the way, but it's there we are regarding the guy in the picture there, Alan Hansen. Somebody's just asked a question, and I'm going to. Is it true that Alan Hansen has passed? He hasn't passed away, but he is in hospital, seriously ill, apparently. The 68-year-old is seriously ill in hospital. See Liverpool. The thoughts of everyone and support of everyone at Liverpool FC with our legendary former captain Alan Hansen, who is currently seriously ill in the hospital. A defender of the utmost elegance, Hansen's outstanding raft of honours across a 14-year spell for the Reds since he joined from Partick Thistle in 1977 included 8 league titles, 3 European Cups, 2 FA Cups and 3 League Cups. He was known as Jockey by his teammates. The providing his family will support Liverpool, but they're saying the privacy is expected. But they said they'll receive any further updates. They will put out Liverpool, but he is seriously ill in hospital at the moment, so that don't sound too great. And look, rivalry aside, yes, Alan Hansen was a great player, by the way. And I just want to say, we send our wishes to him as well. And so there we go. Your thoughts, John?
You know what it is? It's so sad to hear that, man. I mean, he has been an absolute football icon for me. I mean, Kevin Campbell's the same, unfortunately not feeling well. But for me, Alan Hansen, I watch this guy, right? He plays Liverpool, and this guy is, for me, the best defender in the world. He's alongside, I mean, if you look at it, right? I mean, back in those era, he was absolutely fantastic defender. He's cool, calm, and collective as well, calculated. Not many people go past him. He's not blessed with pace, but he's got football in brain. But for me, that is sad news. Absolute sad news as well. And also as well, he was a top pundit as well. He says it how it is. He doesn't care what people think of him. He tells it how it is. Simple as that. His favourite words was, you don't win titles with kids. It's as simple as that, yeah? But I hope I wish Alan a speedy recovery. And you know what? Make it quick, my guy, Alan. Get well soon, man. Please get well soon.
Tanji says, if Man U are trying to get rid of Casemiro for 85 million, can we get the same for Trippier? Both internationals and one Champions League. Do you know what it is, Tanji? The thing is, right? It'll come down to fair market value with Richard Masters. And he'll check the club badge first. And if it's Man United, 85 million. There you go. Off to Saudi. Newcastle United, Trippier, 85. Oh, no. He can only sell him for 15 million. So there you go. It stinks. It does stink of bloody corruption, I tell you. I agree, Miggy needs a fresh challenge away from Newcastle. But in terms of Paraguay, he'll be involved for the next couple of years, regardless of his playing time, absolutely.
Do you know what it is? Right? I'll
go back as fondly of Newcastle as he does of the Spuds and Atletico in the interview, says Julie.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, John, sorry?
No, just quick on Miggy, right? I mean, Foxy would be pleased to hear. Wherever he goes, right, I wish him well. If he does go to another club, right, where that'd be, I don't know. I really would wish him well. Probably, like I said, do well for Leicester, Ipswich, even Southampton. And I just think, at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie, but if he goes to over those clubs, I want him to be successful there. I really, really do that. Do you know what I mean? So that's another day. If we can get rid of him, cool. If we can't sell him, then what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, if Ipswich want him, you can go to Ipswich, absolutely. So there we go. Right, we're going to come to the end of the show because it's been on 8 hours now. But look, it's been a great show. Got through as many comments as we possibly can. John, do you want to let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up next?
Okie dokie. Thank you so much for having us on again, Tony. I really appreciate that, man. And I know it's a bit late, but it's just been another fantastic show. There's my channel name there. I'm going to post it out now. And if you like to watch, please do subscribe to John Sinclair TV. I'll be doing a content tomorrow if you're free, Tony, to do keep, loan, or sell. I'll try and get you and Pete on as well. I don't know how busy you are tomorrow. So I've ordered Pete. And if we can get you both together, that'd be amazing. I think it's going to be a great show. But other than that, I've got nothing else coming up as well. So hopefully keep, loan, or sell. I'm going to try and do that one for about 8 o'clock if you're free.
Yeah, should hopefully be, John. Yeah, so I'll let you know. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
There's John's channel there on this screen now. And Scott says, make sure you smash a like and subscribe for both channels. Thank you very much indeed, Scott. Yeah, so you can find me on It's All Black and White TV, which I'm on now. Obviously, if you're watching on John's channel, that's on my channel. I've got, so what have I got coming up this week? Not sure what I've got coming up, but I've got stuff coming up probably on Wednesday because I can't do Tuesday. And then Thursday we'll have a look ahead to the Euro starting. And then Friday we'll have a look at we'll probably do a Euro roundup at 10 o'clock because it'll be the Scotland game. It'll be playing Germany, so that'll be finished and we'll look back on that game. And I'll be doing stuff during the Euros as well, so do catch me for that as well. It should be good. And also any other links we get and things like that, we'll have transfer shows as well throughout the summer. And then obviously the pre-season starts and everything. So look, lots to look forward to. Got the Euros to look forward to. As far as I'm concerned, England should be going out there and winning the Euros. And look, we get a lot of people sit back and say, oh, well, England won't win. Because the reason England don't win is because we have that mentality that, we're not going to win nothing. But with the team we've got, the players we've got, we should be winning that Euros. I'm sorry, we should be. We've got one of the strongest squads out there. We got Bellingham in that team. When you look at the team that played on Friday, there were some new ones in there. But look, at the end of the day, England should be going out there to win that tournament. And if they get the semi-finals, people will go, oh, well, at least we've got the semi-finals. No, shouldn't be that. It should be, we should be getting to the final. We should be winning it. We should have won it 3 years ago. Let's try and do that one step better. And let's see if we can win it and send Southgate out on a high. So that would be absolutely fantastic. But look, let's not be too down about England. Let's just get behind them in the tournament and see how far they can go. Remember, we've got 2 Newcastle players in there. And on Friday, it was the first time that 2 Newcastle players actually featured in the starting lineup for England since 2005. So there you go. That's how long ago it was since we've had players in the England team together. So absolutely fantastic. But yeah, if you have enjoyed today's show, by the way, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Just follow Sean the Sheep's Lead and hit them thumbs up. That really does help the channel up the search, and it means new viewers find it more easily. And if you are brand new to the channel, come and hit the subscribe. Come and help me on the way towards 1200. Also hit the bell notification. That will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. So yeah. So I'm glad you've all enjoyed the show today, and it's been a good one. But until then, it's remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. It's bye-bye from me.
And bye-bye from me as well. How are we the lads?
How are we the lads?
We're lads.